Hey guys, Break here. Today we're going to be talking about gold making in 2018 and how you can make gold in a number of different ways as Legion comes to an end. Now the first method is the most simple, and that is just passive gold making in the game. Now if you remember back in Warlords of Draenor, it was considered the golden time for passive gold making because everything was so easy with the garrisons. You could easily got your own herbs and ore every day. You just got passive gold missions, you got all that stuff, and everyone was going crazy about how this inflation was affecting the economy and all that. But I would argue it's even more significant now at the end of Legion. Just from your order haul alone on one character, you should easily be able to make between 5 and 10,000 gold every day just running missions. Once you have completed the Argus questlines, you can unlock the 950 followers and the 950 missions, and especially the gold ones and the Blood of Sargeras ones are really good. You can get like 1200 minimum, and if you max it out, which you always should, you should get another 1500, and you could probably easily do a couple of those a day. That's already 5000 raw gold. You also get a lot of Blood of Sargeras missions, which can give you 4 bloods and another 8 bonus. Again, you should 200% it, and that will get you 12 Blood of Sargeras, which if you have any decent profession, you should always get a few hundred gold per Blood of Sargeras. So again, that's another few thousand gold. Easily between 5 and 10,000 gold a day per character if you are optimizing correctly and have the geared followers. Now, if you have a add-on such as this one here, Class Order Halls Complete, this can show you basically all of your different ults and when their missions come off cooldown, when their upgrades, work orders are ready, etc. It's a really good way to keep ahead of all of your ults if you have a lot like I do. Obviously, if you have 10 ults and each do this every day, you can make 50,000 raw gold a day, potentially. It's a lot of work to keep up, but once you've got it going, it's actually not that hard to maintain. It's hard to get started, but it's really not hard to maintain, so that is an awesome way if you can be bothered to start it all up to get a nice bit of passive gold. A couple of tips for your ults. First of all, if you run the Blood of Sargeras missions, you can turn in those bloods for order resources, and that can help you sort of sustain your ults without having to run world quests on them, which is very useful. Also, you can always get the bonus world quest complete per day. Forgot what it's called. Druids don't get it, but a lot of classes do get it, and you can go and complete one of the order resource world quests. You can get 750 order resources, say, which is really nice. It's just free order resources to help fund your gold making passive empire. The last thing is the world quests. Now, again, a couple of ways you can do this. If there is a 8, 9 or 10 or even 5 Blood of Sargeras world quests, you should go do that on as many ults as possible, because again, if you have the right professions, you can always turn bloods into extra gold, a lot of gold. And there are often, on the Broken Shore, a lot of Blood of Sargeras missions, high Blood of Sargeras world quests even. And apart from that, you can just go and run all the gold world quests, which often there are a few. Look at this one, just gives you 400 gold randomly, which is pretty nice. And again, add-ons can help with this. There are loads of world quest add-ons. And an awesome thing, if you can get a champion with the right traits, you can get another sort of 100 gold per world quest and 100 order resources or whatever. There are some really cool traits that you can get on followers. A great way to try and unlock these traits is to do the Nether Shard vendor. Go do the Wormtongue cache to get your free Nether Shards every couple of days. Hand them in at the Nether Shard vendor, and you can buy these traits for your followers from there. It's just a random one, but if you get lucky, you'll get one of the gold ones, and eventually you can easily get 100 gold per world quest and 100 resources, something like that. And that really builds up if you can complete the map, get the bonus gold, get all the Blood of Sargeras and get all the order resources. It just adds up so well, and passive gold is so easy to get in Legion. Like I say, I think it's better than Warlords even, and if you are set up correctly, you can easily just make gold without having to do much extra work. The second thing we're going to talk about is boosting. Now, a lot of you might be against this kind of thing. It's not against the rules. Boosting for gold is completely allowed, but I know a lot of you kind of disagree with this or whatever. I'm not too sure why, but anyways, you can boost for gold, you can boost Mythic plus 15s, you can boost Heroic Argus if your guild is good enough, you can boost even normal Argus, and you can boost level 100 to 110 leveling. I mean, look, just as I'm talking about this, there's already 2 people advertising in trade chat, 1 boosting a 15, 2 boosting a 15, and 1 boosting 100 to 110. So for the 100 to 110 leveling, it's best to have a 101 twink. There are a lot of guides on this, I'm not going to go into it, but basically if you have a level 101 character and you gear out in BOE gear, it can solo dungeons basically, and you can boost people up really quickly. On the other hand, if you're a really geared character, you can just boost someone at level 110, as in you're level 110, they're not. You have to be pretty geared, but that is starting to work as well, and I've seen people doing that, so that can also be a thing. Plus 15 boosting is really, really popular. Now, as Legion comes to an end, the things that you're not going to be able to do anymore in the next expansion is get the plus 15 artifact appearance for your artifacts. So a lot of people are going to be going on undergeared ults just trying to get these appearances before Legion ends, and that gives you an opportunity to sell for a decent amount of gold. If people are selling for 200k, that's 50k each. 50k each person for a plus 15 that you'd probably do anyway. An awesome way to make a bit of gold. And again, looking back to Warlords of Draenor, you remember the Moose boosting? Everyone was going to Hellfire Citadel to try and get the Moose on Heroic. Well, there's the Spell Wing whatever, which isn't on my bars, but anyway, you can get that Spell Wing thing, and a lot of people pay a lot of gold for this as well, especially at the moment. Obviously the price will go down. Here we go, Violet Spellwing. The price will go down, but it will still be worth a decent amount. So if you have a half decent guild and you can boost a couple of people, and they each pay a few 100k each, then again you split that between the guild, you're going to be getting a decent amount for something you'd be doing anyway. A lot of people make a lot of gold from boosting, and it's not just the top raiders, guys. You can do it as well, so don't feel kind of worried that you won't be good enough. People will pay gold for almost anything. A top raider with a ton of gold goes on their ult and they want to be boosted, they'll pay it to be boosted. That happens a lot, especially with all the inflation. Everyone has spare gold nowadays, what most people do, and it's a great way to make gold. Just sell these boosts. At number 3 on the list, we have Legion gear. Now, this Legion gear can either be from the new raid or simply the crafted gear that you've been able to make all expansion. People don't believe me, but with the right stats, people pay so much gold for this 850 gear. Because think about it, it's just a way to get from whatever item level you are from leveling, especially leveling through invasions, which means you hardly get any gear. You level up so quick. And you get from basically nothing to a solid 850, and that lets you move on to the next stage. People will spend a lot of gold on these, especially for the right stats. Look at this robe. I sold one for 14k 3 weeks ago. I sold another one for 20k a month ago. With the right stats, people are paying 14k for a robe that costs 1,000 gold to make. That's 20 times your profit. However many percent, 2,000%. It's awesome. And if you think about it, the end of an expansion is time for trying out your ults. People, max out their main, say they're a heroic raider. Like myself, I'm a heroic and low-level mythic raider occasionally. But basically, I'm at 966 item level on my main. And there's no way I'm going to get higher than that unless I get super lucky from my heroic raids. I'll slowly get into some mythics, but I'm basically done. So what else do I do now? I'll probably go on an ult. And this is what a lot of people do, especially with the new allied races coming that a lot of people think are going to be coming sooner rather than later. There's going to be a lot of leveling up of new characters and a lot of people wanting to gear and try them out in the raid before the new expansion. And that means all gear is now going to be selling really, really well. So, as I said, crafted gear, the 850 stuff you make with Blood of Sargeras, that sells really nicely. Of course, the Antorus gear as well is really, really nice. Now, I've done guides on flipping Antorus gear before. It is one of the most profitable things you can do in the game if you're half good at it. Basically, you look on the auction house, check for some gear with good stats that's cheap, buy it out and you sell it for more. Now, it's kind of hard to tell which ones to buy, which ones not. I know the Hulking Demolisher leg plates are a very good item, so they often sell for a lot. These ones probably not worth flippy. I mean, you could probably sell them for 100k, but there's a 945 on for 140k, so people would probably just buy that. Either way, and on a lot of realms, because I do this on a lot of realms, it's still very profitable to do this. On others, it's still not that profitable, but if you can get a good deal, definitely try and sell some of the Antorus gear. And talking of gear, obviously gear's great, and what goes with gear, enchants, gems, all of those are still selling really well, so don't forget, if you are looking at making some more gold, don't ignore your enchants. They're still making loads. In fact, they're making more gold than they've been making in a while, for me at least. Don't know why. Maybe less chaos crystals around or something, but enchants have been selling really nicely, so definitely don't give up on that. Most mythic guilds are nowhere near finished, or average mythic guilds or below average mythic guilds like mine. We won't be finished for a very long time, so there's still going to be new gear being got all the time, and obviously enchants and gems are going to remain profitable because of that. Okay, at number 4 we have pets, mounts and transmog. So this is a pretty cool one, because you would surely think this would be kind of the same throughout the entire expansion. Why would it be good to start doing that now? Well, actually, as people get finished with the last raid, I mean, if Blizzard don't bring out a raid, it's looking like they probably won't, then we'll probably be in trouble and we will not have a lot to do for the next few months. And when there's not a lot to do in the game, people either quit or they get involved in other aspects of the game. So if they're a PvEer, they might PvP. Or if they're a PvPer, they might start pet battles or something like that. Anyway, pet battles usually increase quite a lot towards the end of the expansion. Collecting mounts, a lot of people get into the whole mount collecting, so start looking, hey, I need to get the engineering mounts from the auction house. That's really good. And transmog as well. People start trying to build an awesome transmog ready for the new expansion, or just because they've got a bit of extra gold, a bit of extra time, so they want to build up transmog. I mean, if we look at my sales, I mean, haven't been very active recently, but even the past day, look, we sold this replica belt for 121k. Someone paid 121k for this replica Wildheart belt, which you can get from the Darkmoon Fair in no time at all. People are starting to really look at transmog as an awesome thing to get into. Happens all the time. What else have we got? Anything cool? Again, more transmog. This Dungeoneering guide offhand costs like 1k to make. I sold it for 17k a few days ago, so that was pretty cool. Transmogs are a really big thing. Obviously, mounts and battle pets, like I was talking about. Now, I sell battle pets like cross-server arbitrage. I've done a lot of videos on that, so look up my battle pet guides if you're interested. But you don't have to sell cross-server, you can go farm them yourself. There's a lot of battle pet guides out there by Student Albatross, etc. that you can go and look at. I personally like to buy low on one server and sell high on another server. And yeah, a few useful add-ons is this rematch and TSM rematch. What's it called? Rematch TSM pet values. This is such a good add-on, because basically it will show you what is cheap and what's expensive on your server by these little plus signs. So as you can see here, the Kavin Moccasin goes for 75k on my server and only 40k region average, and I probably bought it for 20k on another server, so that's 50k I can make just by selling it. A Darkmoon Hatchling goes for 45k, average of 10k, so you can buy it for 5k on one server, and I could have sold it here for 45k. There's a load of things to do. A lot of people ask, well, how do you get the gold back? Again, you can just buy more pets, transfer it back. You can just turn it into Battle.net balance. You can do loads of stuff. You can just start up on a whole new server and make gold on 2 servers. That's always great as well. But again, people will start seeing increases in their battle pet sales, because what you do when you finish with raiding and you're kind of bored with doing world quests, let's try out a new aspect of the game. Happens every expansion, and battle pets do see a slight increase and you can make some nice gold from them. And at number 5, we have general investments. Now, what you can do is buy up some things now, wait until people come back to the game during the pre-patch and during the launch of the new expansion, Battle for Azeroth, whenever that will be, probably around September time or October, I don't know when, but it'll be towards the end of this year, and people will come back. There will be cheaper items now, and there'll be more demand for those items when people come back to the game. One thing I've been talking about recently is the holiday items, so Minion of Grumpus. A lot of people who were potentially bored of the game and quit before the Christmas event didn't get their Minion of Grumpus, and all the people who come back when Allied Races get released, when the new expansion gets released, they might want their Minion of Grumpus, and this will go up in price. I can guarantee you the price will be higher because of inflation and because of the demand in a few months' time. So that's a great thing to invest in. Holiday items in general are a great thing to invest in. The new Naxi pet for people who potentially quit before Hallow's End, but will come back for the new expansion. And this is a new pet they released this Hallow's End, so people will be like, hey, I've never seen this pet before, let's collect it. The Naxi pet will 100% go up in price from its current price, which is 54k on the EU region market average. It will go up quite a lot, and I can easily see this selling for 100k across the EU in a few months' time. General inflation is a serious thing to think about. It happens all the time, really all the time. I've done videos on it. I'm going to do another video on the extent of inflation. But basically the price of basic items or items that aren't from this expansion will just continue to go up and up and up because of the increased inflation in the game. I see no reason why inflation will stop, and so items that you buy now will just be worth more in a few months' time. So TCG items, mounts, obviously they're a bit expensive, but TCG pets keep going up and up and up. If you were to invest in Spectral Tiger Cubs a few months ago, you'd be in a very good position, because right now they're 500k EU average. They're actually really cheap on my server. Don't know why they're 385k only, but they were 200 to 300k on the EU a few months ago, and now they're 500k, and because the TCG items aren't released anymore, they'll just keep going up and up and up in price. And these Spectral Tiger Cubs will be going for almost 1 million gold by the time the next expansion comes out. They're already going for over 500k on numerous servers, and I only see this increasing, so it is a great investment. And even things such as Spirit of Harmony, they have been a great investment for anyone who has been looking at them, because they've just gone up and up and up in price as inflation has caused them to go up. Now, I can only see this increasing, as I said, so these Spirits of Harmony will be worth more in a few months' time, and you can take any kind of casual item, any sort of bar or ore, any sort of item like this, even something like Battered Hilt. These kind of items that used to be worth 10k a couple of years ago are now worth 50k, and the price is just going to keep on rising. So if you are looking to either leave the game for a few months or just looking for a stable investment, almost anything from previous expansions is pretty good. Because of inflation, it will likely go up. Investing in things from this expansion is always a bit risky, because it's only been, it will only been a few months when people come back to the game, and I'm not so sure. I don't think I'd invest in things from this expansion just yet. But stable items and TCG items, holiday items, all of that stuff is a great thing to look at with your gold if you've got any spare cash. Anyway guys, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, I hope you found it useful, I hope you've considered some of my ideas. What do you think is going to be the best or easiest way to make gold in 2018 before the new expansion? What's going to be profitable? What do you think that I said is potentially wrong? Because I'm sure I am wrong with at least one of my things, because you guys always tell me. But thanks for watching, and until next time, see ya.